Welcome to the show tonight. I'm here to say music is a difficult thing. It is ridiculously difficult. You think because maybe you go through the history of music and all the recordings that we have, a lot, and a lot of it is recordings of music that was written down in the past and people have recorded it. I'm talking about Baroque and classical and Romantic era stuff. And then you have all of the Jazz Age, and then you have R&B and rock and roll, and then everything that came after rock and roll, right? And you get this perspective, I think, that, well, if you work at it, you can just make some good music and people will enjoy it. I'm here to say this is totally, totally untrue. I hate all of the music that I have written. Now, I don't have a lot of experience in all of that. And music theory eludes me in some areas, but that's not really the problem. The problem is that there is something very, very specific about that artist. The artist creating great music, right? And I think it's fine to suck, right? And to not have great music. But why do I say that? Well, that's why we look to these people. Oh, here I have my phone's going off. But that's why we look to these people that actually have created great music, and it makes them special. It makes them extraordinary and special. So I don't feel bad about it. Now, I'm old, but when I think about things like if I were working in a band and if you have all of the inputs coming from all these people, that would help. And it certainly would help. And I was watching DEVO on Netflix. Now, in Canada here, we're boycotting pretty much anything American, but I happen to have free access to Netflix, so I watched it. I haven't watched all of it, but it was very inspiring. DEVO were such an incredible band. Like anyone that watches my channel knows that, I grew up with the Beatles and Motown, and then the Bay City Rollers were a very important band to me. And you might not think that DEVO would play such a huge role, but DEVO played an absolutely huge role. Before I even heard Strangers in the Wind by the Bay City Rollers, I heard DEVO. And I had their first two albums. And they were incredible, and they were mind-blowing, and they expanded my mind. And even though I didn't understand everything that they were talking about, it planted something in my mind. That is incredible. That is an incredible power. And, they instilled a little bit of doubt. Is the world what you think it is? Is the world going in the direction that it really should go in? These are things, I mean, I was so young at the time. These are thoughts that usually don't cross your mind, but they're very valuable thoughts. I saw a while ago, I think it was in the punk rock bowling page, that, DEVO were performing, and someone said, DEVO, they're not punk. And someone came in, thank God I didn't have to say it, and said, DEVO are punk as fuck. The thing is, DEVO is more punk than most fucking punk. I don't think they even wanted to be involved in the name punk. They mention that a little bit if you watch it on Netflix, But no, why would they? They were a totally different thing. But they embodied everything that punk was about. Such an incredible band. So I'm here tonight drinking my wine. And I was watching that. And now we're going to lay down some fucking tracks. Because DEVO is one of the greatest bands of all time. We're going to play some of their music. Now, I'm going to switch out and switch back in here because I don't know what I'm starting off with first. I just wanted to get this going, but I'll be right back. Yeah, so we're going to actually start out with Uncontrollable Urge, which happens to be the first song on their first album. What an incredible album. Let me talk briefly about the production on this album. So apparently David Bowie wanted to produce an album for DEVO, never got around to it, and then said, Brian Eno can do this, and sent Brian Eno. Now, I love the first DEVO album, but it's so funny to me that the first DEVO album, much like the second Talking Heads album, does not have enough bass. Both albums are produced by Brian Eno. I think that tells you something about the substances that were being used at the time, okay? But anyway, Uncontrollable Urge, if you watch the DEVO documentary on Netflix, you will find that apparently John Lennon walked up to Mark and started yelling, yeah, 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 yeah. And Mark's feeling was that John understood that he was taking, Uncontrollable Urge was taking from She Loves You, right? And I Want to Hold Your Hand, apparently. Deconstructed versions of this, right? And it makes perfect sense, my absolute love for the Beatles. And then when I put on this record, when I first heard it and the needle drops, you have that, and it comes in and it says, yeah, 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 yeah. And to me, it made perfect sense what was going on, But to a lot of people, it didn't make any sense and they thought it was a joke and they missed out. Let's listen to this awesome, awesome track. Okay, so that was Uncontrollable Urge. Now, you would assume that I'm going to play Jocko Homo, but I'm not going to play it. You can, if you don't know about that, you should go search for the video for Jocko Homo. And they get into a little bit in the documentary about where that came from. There was so much stuff coming into DEVO. They were at Kent State when the government murders of students occurred, right? And there were also so much education, and they were artists, and I think this is a really important thing. They were creating the band as artists, not necessarily as musicians, right? It's so incredible because they were such a great band, right? So many people that want to create a band are not going to get to that level. And when I say level, I'm not talking about musicianship. I'm talking about the whole bag. I'm talking about being able to create songs with a message behind them that that has an impact on society. So few people are capable of doing this. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to play Jocko Homo because you should, if you haven't already, go and watch that video. But what I am going to play is this is kind of funny. I'm going to tell you an embarrassing story. I'm going to play Gut Feeling / Slap Your Mammy. Now, I got drunk and I was talking. This is embarrassing. I got drunk and I was talking to Eric Faulkner and we were playing guitar. This is on a video call back and forth, right? And he was showing me stuff playing guitar. And I was talking about, well, one thing I'm looking at right now is using flat 6th and 7th and 3 chords and trying to use just major chords in songwriting. And I was talking about, there's this song by DEVO. And I was playing it out. And it was so rudimentary. And he was watching. And, he's such a good guy. But he was watching and paying attention. He's like, okay, that's interesting. But it's so funny looking back at that. And if you ever get a chance to talk to your idol, don't get drunk. Why would you do that? But, of course, I was half drunk at that point in time. Now, having said that, though, what an incredible chord progression they have in this song. I've loved it ever since I was I don't even know. I was a child when I heard this, when they were infecting my mind with all of this stuff. So I'm only playing 2 songs off the first album, but the entire first album is great. Go out and listen to it. But yeah, let's listen to Gut Feeling / Slap Your Mammy by DEVO. Okay, well, Devo's second album, Duty Now for the Future, is probably their best album. And it was very interesting to see in the documentary that the record company was not happy with this. And I mean, this is always the case. You know, the better the album is that you create, the more the record company hates it, I believe. We see this from band to band to band. But Duty Now for the Future is a tremendous album. It's one of the greatest albums in all of these records that you see behind me. I hold it in the highest regard, and I always try to find a mint copy because as a child, there was that pullout on that. No, I ruined the whole thing, and the reissues do not stand up to the originals that I had. That's my opinion. So I'm going to play a few songs from that. The first one I'm not going to talk too much. I just think it's a great song. But the one after I'm going to dive into a little bit because it is the greatest moment of Devo in my opinion. But this album from beginning to end, everything that's going on with the synthesizers, the drums, the guitars, oh my God. I don't think any other band could have created this. Let's start out with Wiggly World.
Never straight up and down.
It's never straight up and down. It's never straight up and down. It's never straight up and down. Oh, you got an echo. I got a dime. Like to get to know you, but I haven't got the time. You gotta walk like a mannequin, roll like a top. Echo reaction, that's a big buzz buzz. Wiggle on the bottom, wiggle on the top, wiggle up the middle and life was life. 'Cause I've been living in a wiggly world. Wiggly world, a wiggly world. Gotta tell you, I've been living in a wiggly world now. Wiggly world, a wiggly world. Well, I've been living in a wiggly world. Wiggly world, a wiggly world. I'm gonna tell you, I've been living in a wiggly world. Wiggly world, a wiggly world. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. I've been living in a wiggly world. Well, 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 I've
All right, so Smart Patrol slash Mr. DNA, sorry, getting some messages here, is probably the high point of everything Devo ever did. And I do not believe that this is something that they created for the second album. I get the impression that this is something they were working on before they even released their first album, but I don't know if that's true. But wow, what an incredible, incredible composition, and all of the synthesizers and all that thrown into this, and then all of the lyrics. It is way out there. It's way out there. Man, do I ever appreciate this band. But it's so funny because I remember having this as a young child. I heard the first album. I immediately got the second album, and it was in a world of its own. I had a little, this is so long ago. You have to remember, this is like the 70s and early 80s. I had this little cassette player, the one that had all the buttons at the front to record and play, and you hit the pop, and it would pop up this thing, and you'd throw your cassette in there. And I had this album, and I recorded it to a cassette on a crappy system that we had, And then I would walk downtown to meet people, and I would walk with this thing I'm carrying. It wasn't a ghetto blaster by any stretch. I have no idea how many watts it was, maybe 5. But I had my DEVO record to listen to on the way downtown. Just incredible. It's such a funny memory to me, but so inspirational. This album was very inspirational, very much so. I mentioned, not on my channel, but I guess on the radio show, Dead Kennedys, Plastic Surgery Disasters, another inspirational album. Two very inspirational albums. But if you wanted to see DEVO live and you wanted to see the best of DEVO live, this was the stuff you wanted to see live. It was the best of their performance, in my opinion. Let's hear it now.
I'm tired of the soup de jour. He's been with the world. I wanna win this prophylactic tour. Afraid nobody around here understands my potato. I think I'm only a spot boy looking for a real tomato. He's been with the world, and I'm tired of the soup de jour. He's been with the world. I wanna end this prophylactic
Okay, yeah, you may notice that I look a bit different. That's because a day has gone by. Because it was, I think it was like 4 o'clock in the morning that I recorded some of the stuff that you just saw. But I watched it over just to come up to speed. And I'm very happy with how this is going so far. So let's complete it, shall we? I'm not going to cover the entire career of Devo, and I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to stop, but we'll see, and I'll let you know when it's coming to an end. There was one thing I wanted to mention. A lot of Devo songs have this thing where each member sings a bit, right? And it reminds me of, and when the first time I heard it, it reminded me of the song Rock and Roller by the Bay City Rollers. And I think it's a very effective thing when you have all of these unique voices in a band to have each of them singing a part, one after another. Works out really well. So I wanted to mention that. Now, we're moving on to the Freedom of Choice album, Devo's third album. So I have some information here from Wikipedia somewhere. Where is it? It says they had not enjoyed the experience of working with their previous producer, Ken Scott. And after the band's sales decreased with the resulting album Duty Now for the Future, they decided to find a new producer. I don't know exactly how true that is. There's no reference. Well, there is a reference. Maybe I'll look that up. But I thought the second album, the production on it was a bit more straightforward than the first. It was not as quirky as the first one. And they may have been unhappy with that. I don't know. But I still think that it's their strongest album if you take everything from beginning to end. But it's true that they did not have any commercial success with that, or they did not have much commercial success. So it says here, Mark later stated that while the band admired Bootsy Collins and Prince and Motown, they had difficulty figuring out how to reflect those influences in their own music. Isn't it funny? I mentioned Motown in just about every single video I make, but there you are. There's someone else mentioning it. The band decided to approach electronic music pioneer Robert Margouleff due to his work with Stevie Wonder and Tonto's Expanding Head Band. And I don't know how enthusiastic this person was originally to work with them, but it did happen. And it worked to great commercial success for the band. And I don't think they really threw away anything that really made them great in the process of doing that. It just so happened that people listening to and buying the 45 Whippet, which is the big one, and then perhaps buying the album, were not in tune with what Devo was saying, so they saw it all kind of as funny and a joke. And if you watch the video for Whippet, you could see how they could think that. But there's always something going on underneath, with Devo. And a lot of it is cynical. And, and that's the funny thing about Whippet, because Whippet has this kind of optimistic tone about it. So here you have this cynical band, and we'll get into the big cynicism in a bit. You have this cynical band making fun of what some people would say, and I did see somewhere, I think in the Wikipedia page, about American optimism. They're kind of like poking fun at that. But this is not being digested by people. But I can say this about Devo, like when I was very young listening to Devo, it was a subconscious understanding of their music, I think, that I had. Because I didn't have the knowledge, really, to think about things like American optimism and stuff like that. But I knew exactly that they were poking fun with Whippet, right? To me, it was obvious, but it was on a subconscious layer. It was attractive to me because, once again, it was showing a little bit of doubt, right? By making fun of something, by poking a little bit of fun at something that was sarcastic. So, while I didn't truly understand everything that was going on with it, it was a counterculture kind of hit, and I don't know how much people appreciated that. But it didn't get in the way of it becoming a hit, and the album was a hit, and I think it's probably the greatest moment they had commercially, And the production really did make that difference towards making a hit, but the songwriting is good as always. And I would say on this album, it just shows how, like, these were all new songs. I was saying how maybe on the second album, some of those songs that had been germinating for a while, it seems like everything on here is new and fresh. And it just shows like they were such excellent composers or songwriters at the time that they could just come up with these songs. You know, I'm not saying it wasn't hard work, but they had the ability to come up with song after song after song after song. So it's a really decent album. I think it has highs and lows, but the production from beginning to end is good. And the Devo live thing that came out, and who knows how live it was, is also very nice sounding as well. And I really enjoy that. But let's listen to Whip It, and let's listen to, how well the production works. I didn't listen to Whip It for decades because I was so sick of it because it got played on the radio and all that. And there were other tracks on the album that I enjoyed. And then one day I was just playing Devo somewhat loud on vinyl, and the song came on. And I was absolutely shocked by how decent and how good the production was and how it turned that song into a hit. So let's listen to it now. And while you're listening, just think about the production and the impact that had on their songwriting. Okay, I think one of the first things you'd notice about that is it's a very danceable track. But not only is it danceable, because you have to have a certain tempo, you have to have a certain beat and rhythm, but you also have to have a sound that fits into a dance club, which that song somewhat does. It's not exactly Donna Summer, but, it's up there. And so they achieved what they wanted to achieve with that. And that was not the first single from the album. As a matter of fact, it was Girl You Want, and that was a bit of a flop, apparently. And then this one kind of came out on its own, and it started getting played on radio stations, and then obviously became that big hit. Not just a big hit though, because there's hits from every year. There's hits, but then there are songs that have staying power, and Whip It is one of those songs. It's a song people don't forget. But for whatever reason, a lot of people thought the band was a joke. They didn't realize they already had 2 classic albums before they did this, and a lot of people will say, oh, they were a one-hit wonder, which is very insulting to a band that influenced, first of all, had several great albums, dozens of great songs, and influenced everyone that came after, in that genre, right? And they were one of the greatest art bands of all time. There's very little competition at their level. Now, I want to play Freedom of Choice. They always have humor in their songs, right? They usually have humor in their songs. Sometimes when you watch the video, you realize there's nothing funny going on, right? And we'll get to a song like that. But there's a bit of humor in here, and they're talking about, the United States. They're talking about ancient Rome, and they're throwing a little bit of humor in it. And the song's called Freedom of Choice, and it's a little bit of a conversation on freedom of choice and where things are going. I think their view on society in the United States at the time was not great after what they had experienced, and what they're seeing around themselves, that people just are not taking how bad things are heading and potentially can go, and people are not taking it seriously. I think that really comes out in a lot of their music. I mean, the whole concept of de-evolution is being played out today. MAGA is the de-evolution that they warned us about. MAGA can say they won the election, but the true winners are DEVO, who predicted, like Nostradamus, the complete idiocy, stupidity, and foolishness of the morons in MAGA, right? We'll get to that some more in a little bit, but I think they should get an award just for showing that many years ahead of time. But let's listen to Freedom of Choice. Okay, we're moving on to the next album, New Traditionalists, and it's interesting. New Traditionalist has a very similar kind of vibe to it as Freedom of Choice. It is more on the dancey side, I guess you would say, in comparison to the first two albums, right? And more on the synth and pop side of things. But the lyrics in some places, if you pay close attention, especially with the video from one of the songs I'm going to play, takes things in away from a poppy kind of message. It's I wouldn't say it's a deeper message, but they're back to, well, it goes beyond poking fun sometimes, right? It goes beyond poking fun. And so there's a little bit of a seriousness here. It's almost like they're reacting back. I don't know. It's weird. But the opening track is a message out to those of us who were serious about bands like DEVO, or serious maybe about art in certain areas in America where it is frowned upon. And we've seen this for decades. How many times have you heard someone say, why is that person studying art? What are they going to contribute to society? They're going to be unemployed and on welfare. That's very much an American mentality. I'm not saying it's across America, but it's very much an American mentality. The arts is reserved for the wealthy, right? It's not for the working class, So it's very interesting, and it's a little bit of a punch in the nose, this album. Now, this is by no means a favorite album of mine from DEVO. As a matter of fact, I can't even say that I'm intimately familiar with every song, whereas on the first three albums, I'm intimately familiar with everything. But there is some great stuff on here. Yeah, and this message that they send out with the opening track, Through Being Cool, was really nice to hear when it came out, because we are out there. There is this minority of people that respect an artist more than they respect a CEO, for example, right? So, yeah, we're going to play that. Let's play that right now, and we'll be back to talk about the next song.
We're through being cool. We're through being cool. Eliminate the ninnies and the twits. Going to bang some heads. Going to beat some butts. Time to show those evils what's what. If you live in a small town, you might meet a dozen or two.
Okay, our next song is "Beautiful World," and they have a video for this. As a matter of fact, there's a beautiful there's a beautiful video for "Through Being Cool." So after listening, go ahead and watch those. But when you watch the video for "Beautiful World," you can see that it's a very cynical Devo that is there at that point in time, and why not, right? It's obvious by watching the video. They've got plenty of reasons to be cynical. So it is. It's a very interesting direction that the band is taking, and I don't know exactly how successful this album was, but people were buying into this at the time. You can look at how music was changing, and people were feeling disenfranchised a lot, and people were starting to really question the world around them. Not so much as today. Oh my God, what we live in today, the absolute stupidity. Look at Donald Trump's presidency. It's so stupid. I was already talking about how things had devolved, right? And how Devo was absolutely correct. And devolution or de-evolution, however it's pronounced. But there's no better example than Trump and his entire administrations of fools and, fools and grifters, and the people applauding them because they love to see someone grift and win with no care for their family, their society, their municipalities. It's really incredible. And, so you can complain about people being cynics in the past, but look where we are. Wake up. So, yeah, let's listen to Beautiful World. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple songs off of one more album, and the album is "Oh No, It's DEVO," which is an incredible name for an album, and it's so suitable for who they were in the corporate world of music. I'm sure the Warner Brothers wanted more hits out of this band, and it's like, why don't you just write the hits? But they did get a hit, a dance club hit out of this album with That's Good, which I'm not playing because it's not nearly the best song on the album. This album has its ups and downs. There is some very odd, funny stuff on here. I think, is Speed Racer not on here? Yes, Speed Racer is on here. Great fun stuff. But I'm going to play the stuff that... let me think about what I've chosen here. Well, I've got a few interesting pieces. So the first one is Peekaboo, which when I was young, I bought anything that I ever saw with the name DEVO on it. I'm going to give you examples. I had the giant 45 of Peekaboo, and damn, I wish I still had that, because it probably had an extended mix on it. I'm such an idiot. A lot of my records disappeared over time. But I also had the Dr. Detroit EP, which the DEVO EP, not the soundtrack that had a bunch of stuff on it, but I had this DEVO EP of Dr. Detroit, Dan Aykroyd. I'm not sure how great it was, but I bought everything. But the thing I wanted to say about Peekaboo is that I bought that giant 45 with, I think, extended mix, or maybe there was a B-side, just because it was DEVO, but I absolutely could not get into the song. I could not get into the song. And then decades later, I see the video for Peekaboo, and it blows my mind. And, my tastes have matured since then. And I just think it is an incredible, lesser-known piece by DEVO. So let's listen to it now, and I'll come back and talk about it. Okay, we're gonna go out on an interesting note here. Here's the song "I Desire," and apparently John Hinckley is it Hinckley Jr. or just Hinckley? You know, the guy that tried to assassinate Ronald Reagan gets partial writing credits because part of the song is taken from a poem that he wrote. So isn't that interesting? And that'll go over like a, a lead zeppelin, a lead balloon in the United States, I imagine, right? You know, it's not going to go over as poorly as Hinckley Had a Vision by the Crucifix, but, you know, it's not going to go over well. Apparently, it's been said that Marx said that they received calls from the FBI regarding this song. So here they are being, how would you describe it? Well, Devo being Devo. And they are not, you know, they're not, they like, who doesn't like the money? But I don't know if they're just strictly courting money as a band, right? I don't get that impression from them. In some ways, they can't help themselves because they started the entire thing off as an art project, not as a commercial make money scheme, you know? Like, I don't know, like say if a president had a meme coin, you know? And they can never escape it because it's who they are. You know, even when they're making music that seems like it's danceable pop music, there's always something else going on underneath. So thanks for watching. I'm going to go out on this song. Very interesting. And I hope, you know, Devo have dozens of songs that are worth knowing and worth listening to. I particularly like the first two albums, but there's a bit off of the next three albums also that really stick out. And, you know, I bought all of them immediately, and I was never really disappointed with any of this stuff. And if you want to hear more Devo, there are the Hardcore Devo compilations that have a whole bunch of stuff that is not off of the albums. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good night and enjoy some more Devo.